All right, folks, it's time for another 8 That Rate. I'm Stephen Hudson again, and I'm a project manager here at Solutions 8. I work with Qasim, I work with John, and the rest of our fantastic team. I'm going to be taking you through this week's 8 That Rate. All right, so we've got a really great lineup for you. I'm going to dive right into number 1, which is the 1,000-pound sentence. Read it along with me. If you are an artist, learn science. If you're a scientist, cultivate art. And that's by Karen Timpone, Marriott Global Marketing Officer. Now, what that sounds, it sounds like, you're kind of saying like if you're a web designer, learn web development. If you're a development person, learn web design. It's not necessarily that. It's more about getting out of your comfort zone, right? So if you're an artist, chances are you're not necessarily as comfortable with science and vice versa. Or if you have been in the PPC space forever and you don't really know a whole lot about that whole, content marketing game or anything like that, which if you're in PPC you should. But with that being said, there are so many different avenues of digital marketing that if you're just in one aspect of it and you haven't taken any time to learn something new, go and do that. You're going to learn a whole lot of new insights. You're going to learn a lot of new tips and tricks that you wouldn't have otherwise known. I have been listening to a lot of really cool podcasts. One of them is called How They Built This, and it's by NPR with Guy Raz. And a lot of times these people who built these movements and these incredible companies and found success, it came from the most unlikely place imaginable. And that's just because they got outside of their comfort zone. So that's the moral of that story. Do something this week that gets you outside of your comfort zone. If that means you want to go run, then go run. If that means you want to go talk to, somebody who's in a completely different vertical than you. If you focus on manufacturers, go talk to somebody who's in the fitness space. I don't know. You can figure it out for yourself. But that's the moral of that story. Number 2, win of the week. This one's ours. Sometimes we have to kind of pump ourselves up a little bit. But this is a really valuable lesson for everybody to learn that we had to learn as well. This isn't like, oh, look at how good this thing did. This is us looking at something going, this isn't working. This is failing. We're not getting much out of this. How can we make it better? What's the problem? Making a tiny tweak, very small. It didn't cost us anything to make this tweak, except that we started getting clicks and our cost per conversion went down and we started getting all these leads. And this is from our PPC campaign. We were doing some AdWords stuff. Let me just read off these numbers. If you have it in front of you, you can check them out as well. I know numbers aren't that great to read, but hey, that's the medium I've been given here. 20 days ago, impressions was 901, clicks 17, click-through rate 1.89, cost per click $22.55, and 1 conversion. So let's just even stop there. Or cost per conversion then was $383. So we go down to today. All we did was change the copy. We just changed what the ad said. That's it. We didn't do this whole big powwow meeting. It was let's change what it says a little bit. I don't think people understand totally what we're trying to communicate to them about. Today, we're at 2,707 impressions, just because the ad score, the ad quality went up, and so it's being put in front of more people. We got 34 clicks. Cost per click went from $22.55 to $16.39. The overall cost went up, but that's okay because we were running it more. We got more clicks. The cost per conversion went down from $383 to $132.82. And the conversion rate went up from 5.8 to 13.3. So that is pretty impressive from just a quick messaging change. And sometimes that's all we need. We get stuck in our heads about what we think people are looking for. And you just gotta check it out. You gotta test it. We put the idea into place. We started the campaign, and then we revisited it and said, okay, what can we do to make some changes? So implement and then optimize. So you put out the idea and then optimize it and keep reiterating on it. So kind of cool. It's a big success for us. So it's a lot of fun. Hot tip for number 3 is Google Trends. If you don't know about Google Trends, this is so much fun. It's just as much fun as Google Maps Street View or Google Earth, except that it's about data and it's about search trends across all of Google's data, which is their thing. You know, they've been in the data game longer than anybody else. So if you go to Google Trends, you can type in a single topic and it will just give you all of the information about the search data for that topic and trending things like on social and whatnot, general interest from the public or just overall, where in the world people are interested in it, and you can dial that down, you know, more specifically. But it's really cool for research and stuff as well. So if you want to look at, okay, you know, are people looking more for, you know, car washes or car detailing? You know, I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of my head. But you know, you can use that and just see kind of general trends overall. You know, what are people looking for if they search for this? You know, what are their second, third follow-up searches? You know, that are related to that. It's like a free, basic, but still very powerful, you know, analytics and like research tool. There's a blog that we've got. It's called Google Trends. Second chance to be the cool kid, so you can check that out too if you want to read a little bit more about Google Trends. But they always have some cool topics up there as well. Like March Madness just happened, and so it'll give you all this cool detail and data about March Madness and all that stuff. So really cool, really fun, really useful. Number 4, event Qasim would kill to attend, because I was unaware of this conference. Qasim did though, and he is really a big fan of it. It's presented by the Data and Marketing Association. It's in New Orleans, not bad, and it's May 1 through 3rd, so it's coming up pretty quick. This one's all about email and CRM, content and data, and technology and deliverability. That's kind of their core thing. So it's designed for that mid to senior level marketer who's looking for some marketing solutions. But for the keynotes, these are kind of the big ones. You have Keith Kaplan, who is the CEO and co-founder of the Tesla Foundation. That's not to be confused with Elon Musk's Tesla. This is the Tesla Foundation. It's a non-for-profit kind of think tank about solving, you know, kind of, we were moving from the information age into the new kind of economy that we've got going on. And it's all about how do we bridge that gap? What is the workforce going to look like? All that kind of stuff. Very, very smart person. We got Matt Taibbi, author and Rolling Stone contributing editor. Catherine Minshew, founder and CEO of The Muse, which is a career discovery platform. I'm reading all of this off as well, so you can read it too. Chris George, CMO at the pop culture blog site PopSugar, very, very popular blog site. And then Trevor Paulson, which is the senior director at Adobe. So you have some really heavy hitters, just people that are in the space right now out there doing work. You know, they know what they're talking about. So really, really great speaking that's going to be happening on. Great talks, great information and ideas coming out of that stage. So definitely check it out. New Orleans isn't too bad either, so check it out. 5-minute power snack. Pinterest. Pinterest is cool. Used to kind of just be for weddings though. So that was kind of how it got its start. Or for people to, you know, save what they wanted from across the web because they could pin it to their board. Oh, that's so clever. It has now since exploded. It is no longer just for kind of recipes and weddings and clothes and that kind of stuff. There are entire other communities on Pinterest now about things that, I mean, you just have no idea about. You've got stuff about, you know, guns, and you've got hiking, you've got fitness, and you've got, you know, just all of these different avenues. Even in digital marketing, there's a ton of stuff on Pinterest. You've got infographics and all that kind of stuff. But it's turned into a thriving and diverse community. So if you haven't checked out Pinterest in a while, do so, either to get some ideas or to start putting content out onto Pinterest. It's a very, very popular way for people to kind of get articles from thought leaders everywhere, you know, and kind of put them into one place. And I mean, those things go viral. People pin that stuff like crazy. So if you've got a good pin out there, a good piece of content, I mean, it's going to start spreading, and it'll be really good for you. So you got to give that a read. We also have we've got a blog about that too. Number 6, best of the week outside blog. This is kind of fun. It's called an Emma blog by Mackenzie Gregory, and it pits 2 different email marketing campaigns from some restaurants. So you've got Moe's and you have Chipotle. So it puts the 2 of them together and it compares them side by side. And so you can kind of see which one is the most savvy. You can still determine which one you like to eat better. But as far as from an email standpoint, what are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? How do they stack up against each other? It's kind of a cool idea. It's a fun read. So check that out. The link is in the blog. And number 7, one of the good ones. This one is specific to Arizona, so if you're not in Arizona, I mean, you can still check it out, but it holds a special place in our heart here in Phoenix, in Arizona. It's the Arizona Community Foundation. And what it does is it gets donations from all these people, so you can donate, like from, like me, people who live in Arizona can donate to the Community Foundation, and it will then take that and be able to distribute it out into other nonprofits, into education, into scholarships, and all that kind of stuff. They award millions of dollars every year in grants and stuff like that. So really, really cool work that's being done. Got a couple of ways that you can give, which is online donations, setting up a fund, or you can plan to give, so it's just like a recurring gift that you do. But it's just very, very well organized. That's kind of the big thing. If you're wanting to put your money towards somebody that you know is going to manage it really well and put it into causes that are going to be effective in the community, it's a really, really great organization to do that with. That's Arizona Community Foundation. And last but not least, number 8, the Thinker quote: "Perfection has one grave defect. It is apt to be dull." And that is W. Somerset Maugham, if I said that right. I don't know if I did. But I love that quote. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. Even Apple, in all of its striving to be perfect, is nowhere close to perfect. But the cool thing about that is that we love that. We love the imperfections. Those are the interesting things. That's what we're drawn to, in human beings. And we like to argue at Solutions 8 that there's not like a business to business model or a business to consumer model or anything like that. It's human being to human being, and we're all about imperfections. That's how we relate to each other, because nobody's perfect. So chew on that, and we'll see you next week for another 8 That Rate. Have a great rest of your day.